Welcome back, everyone. We are doing this video because many of you guys requested it in the comments of the last video I did on this sale. So Olight's having a flash sale. That's what this video is about. However, there's some products in that sale I didn't know were going to be in the sale. So they don't like tell me what's going to be in the sales ahead of time. They just send me whatever. And just full disclosure, the link in the video description will be an affiliate link. There will also be links for mental health down there for people who are upset by a video. Check that out. So when the sale was actually announced, there was a bunch of FDE, like tactical type stuff. And many of you guys were asking me about that. And I didn't have it because, again, I didn't know. But if I had known, I would have known you guys would have wanted the FDE stuff covered. So one thing we did cover before was this guy here, Baldr S. This is an 800 lumen weapon light. It's also about 4,500 candela. So not a super bright light, but you can adjust how it's attached for people who have never seen that before. So you can slide it closer or further away rather to your trigger guard, depending on how you want to set it up. It comes with 1913 and Glock rails in there, and additionally you can use it as a laser only, light only, or laser light combo. Has your windage and elevation adjustments right there, and again, it is rechargeable and magnetic. Next one up that you guys asked me about was this guy here, which is the Osight. So this is the FDE one that they actually announced. You guys who have watched the channel for a while know that we have a couple of them that are currently undergoing testing. So this one here is mounted up on the PSA Dagger, not the obviously FDE version, but the FDE version here is the one that's on sale currently. How are they going? So far, again, we have two of them, now three. I've had zero issues at all with them, but obviously it is a red dot sight that has a 3 MOA dot, up to 70,000 hour battery life. However, that's really not important. I guess it is important, but it's not as important as it would be on a typical weapon sight because, as you can see here, it can actually just be charged because that magnetic piece right there on the top is rather interfaces with this charging thing right here. So charging adapter. So you just put it on there and then interfaces. You can actually press the button here on the side. It'll tell you what status your battery is in. And the reason I say the battery life, while it is very good, obviously isn't super important, is that in most setups, whenever you want to charge your sight, you just put this on there for 20 minutes and you're back charged up because it charges very quickly as well. But with this one, it doesn't work on some applications, which is what we found out. So here we have the Dagger with the forward mounted suppressor height sights. And it sometimes will get in there, but it really doesn't make a connection. Like it's just a touch too high to actually clock in and magnetically charge it. However, with traditional sights, of course, it's not a problem at all because the rear of it is slotted, if you will, to account for that. So that is the Osight. And I actually know what gun we're going to be putting this on. However, I just can't tell you because the gun has not been publicly announced yet. I'm keeping secrets from you. It's called an NDA. I don't have a choice. And then the last one here is going to be this one. This is a light that a lot of you guys wanted to see because it's the Warrior X4 and it's a super throwy light. It's got about 99,000 candela, 2,600 lumens, so it's definitely an output monster, and comes with a little holster here if you want to carry it in there. And additionally, what's cool is not only does it have a clicky tail cap right there at the back, it has a 1-inch body as well. If you wanted to weapon mount it, you certainly can do so, and you can actually just rotate that little piece right there and charge it via a USB-C. But you guys can take a look there at that bezel and that reflector, how deep it is. That's how they do the candela. That's how they get those types of numbers out there. And to use it, basically you press and hold if you want just the low end, but if you want to get on it, it has a gas pedal style tail cap. So the harder you press, the brighter it gets. And of course, if you were in a stressful situation, you would want all that brightness. So there you go. That is how it is activated. One thing I didn't mention here before the lights go down is the actual screw set that comes with the Osight. Companies that I've seen the best in the business at this right now are going to be Olight and Vortex for including a bunch of screws, because I hate when you get an optic and a gun that you want to put it on and the screws aren't included, then you have to go source them wherever at Lowe's or whatever. So it comes with all the screws just like Vortex does. Very, very smart in that regard. So with that, what we're going to do is we are going to wait for the sun to go down. And we're going to show you guys the beam comparisons of these two lights because they are very different beam profiles, but just show you the capabilities that they have. And then that's pretty much it. And again, if you guys are watching this, the sale rather is live and there will be links down below. So let's wait for the sun to go down and we'll be back. For those of you who are new here to the channel, I recommend, especially if you're watching on a computer, turning your monitor brightness up all the way. Right now to the right side of your screen, you can see some light coming in from my neighbor's backyard. And basically, camera is set on manual as close as possible to what I see here with my human eye. And we're going to turn on that Baldr, and there you go. that is what you see from it. And the wood fence, where the iron fence, that spot there, is approximately 30 yards away. And those trees are anywhere from 30 to 50 yards away, depending on which one that you're looking at. You can see there a very wide, floody type of beam, not too intense, which makes sense. Again, like I said, I think it's 4400 or 4500 candela. You can see we do have the laser on right now. We can turn that off though and just have the light only. And of course you can go all the way to the other side with just the laser only if you want to as well. But nice balanced type of output for sure, which makes sense for a lot of compact light use, or compact weapon light use, I should say. Now you have the output from the Warrior here on low. You can see a very different beam pattern, much tighter, and the hotspot, again, even on low, is probably brighter than what we were just seeing there with that Baldr. But you can see that nice edge, or the hard edge, I should say, when it comes to spill and flood. So it's definitely a more throw or high candela oriented type of reflector. And we're just going to click it again all the way in. Oops, there you go, all the way in, and that is your high mode. That is washing out completely the camera, because that is insanely bright there in the center, especially for a little handheld light like this. A ton of output. But let's see how it looks at distance. So we are on my property about 10 yards back, and the lake shore to shore here is about 110 yards across, and then there's that little shack out there that you guys can't see. That's about 10 yards back on the other property. So distance from where we are at to that shack is about 130 yards. This is the output from the Baldr S. Again, you can see that rosemary bush there on the right side of your screen, fully illuminated, even though we are oriented at the actual shack. But as you can see there, when we zoom in, you're not getting a ton of detail with the candela from this light. I suspect that is going to change dramatically with the next one. Now you're looking at the output from the Warrior X. Again, this is on the low, much more intense hotspot, but not as much illumination there on that rosemary bush. And then if we go ahead and push all the way in, that is all of the candela. That is insane, again, for a handheld light. Let me zoom in there. When I zoom in, for those again who are new, that's closer to what I see here with my human eye. Camera always has some input on what you're seeing. This is essentially what I see here as I'm actually looking at the shack myself. You get a ton of details. You'd be able to tell color of someone's shirt, if they had something in their hand, all of those sorts of things, if they were standing out there. And again, though, you'll see the rosemary bush not fully illuminated. And like if there was an eagle or a hawk or something like that in those trees, I would be able to easily see it with my human eye. So this thing's a thrower for sure. Now that you guys have seen the output, that really is all I have for you. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you're not following me on all my socials, I definitely recommend you do so, particularly X and Truth, because they are not censoring me like many other places are, which certainly is nice. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.